All right, hello, everybody. Today is episode 64 of Daniel's Den. Welcome, everybody. Under the sound of my voice, let me do a quick audio check, make sure everything's coming through. All right. Yes, it is. All right. So, we got some great content for everybody. If you did not catch the Freedom Call, which is done by Mr. Tybess, he is a multiple CEO, multiple author, has been financially free now for over 25 years, just so you get a little glimpse of the caliber of person that's going to be chatting with you in a few minutes about closing the wealth gap, okay? How to do it, the facts about it, right? Because it's a huge topic and it includes so many different dynamics, but he's going to break it down. And I will tell you this up front, you can participate in closing the wealth gap for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones immediately with GS Partners. Okay, that is what we're doing. We're here amassing wealth and helping close that wealth gap for families all over the world. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring in this video. Let's see here.
And African people of African American descent, the wealth gap really has not changed between poor Europeans and wealthy Europeans in this country. This is what's not talked about, because on the surface, it looks like their lifestyles has improved. What has improved is people's access to credit. That's improved. And it gives an appearance that all this affluence is taking place when people are actually in bondage, okay? And the wealth gap is really fundamentally proven when you look at it. In 1977, when I came out of college and took a job with the Ford Motor Company, president of Ford Motor Company, Lee Iacocca's salary was $1 million a year. They said the president, the CEO, typical salary in the 70s, early 80s was about 10 times, maybe 10 to 15 times what the average worker's annual salary is. No more, that's the average. And Lee Iacocca at that time was considered one of the highest paid executives in the country at $1 million a year. And people thought that was just insane amount of money. You are 40 years later, and the average CEO's company's salary is 100 to 200 times greater than the average worker's annual salary. That's a wealth gap, okay? There's a wealth gap, okay? And it's not talent that created that gap. It's not their education that created that gap. It's not their knowledge that's created that gap, okay? It's hubris and greed that's created that gap, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about how to close it, okay? When I talk about wealth, I'm not talking about income. I'm actually talking about net worth. I'm talking about an asset, talking about having assets. Because a lot of folks have made money. A lot of folks made a lot more money since we went off the gold standard. And a lot of that money is what I call, it's fake. It's not even real. Okay, you talk to a person, they're all excited because they're making 60, 70 grand a year, but don't have the purchase, they don't have no more purchasing power than 8 or 9 grand in 1970. So we walk around sometimes and say, man, I'm making 5, 3, 4, 5 times more than my parents made. That's what us baby boomers did back in the 80s and 90s, who weren't so much physically aware, financially aware about money. We walk around and say, man, I'm making 50 grand. My father never made more than 20 grand a year. But yeah, but your father, or 15 grand a year, or 10 grand a year. When I got out of college, my first job paid me over $20,000 a year. Actually, that first year, I made over $30,000 a year. That was more money than my mother and father made working full time, both of them combined income. Okay. And so, but it was, I was a product of inflation. I was a product of that increase in income due to the devaluing of the dollar. Now I learned that over a period of time. But
Now, one thing I gotta point out, he talks about closing that wealth gap is not necessarily done by more income. He said it's by acquiring assets. That's huge, because a lot of people will say, just like how he just alluded to, oh, I'm making 100K, I'm making 200K, I'm making 300K. But unfortunately, even Robert Kiyosaki talks about it. the currency losing purchasing power. So it doesn't actually put you in a position where you're actually acquiring assets. You're still on that same hamster wheel. You're just on a different type of hamster wheel. So that is very important, that acquiring assets, getting something that's asset focused. Okay, and I lost myself for a second. Let's see here. See if I can go ahead and bring myself back into this stream. All right, well, here we are. I think we're back. I think I'm back. Hopefully I'm back. All right, so everybody in the sound of my voice, once again, just sharing some great information. We talked a little bit about why closing the wealth gap is so important. And part of what he just said there is it's through assets, okay? Through assets, all right? So I'm going to pull up that video back again. Sorry, I had a little technical glitch happen. So there we go. Let me pull this up here. And thank you, everybody who's joining. We're live on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter.
Wait, that's still to create net worth. See, making money does not create assets, not create wealth. And so in my particular case, as an example, we're talking about the gap between the average white family's net worth, they say in this country is around $140,000 a year. The average black family's net worth, not $140,000 in net worth. That's asset. That's what they own. That's what they're worth. If you take away their bills, they still have about $140,000 solid. And most of that net worth, by the way, is tied up in home ownership. Not tied up in business, not tied up in a real asset, it's tied up in home ownership if they own their home after 25, 30, 40 years of paying the mortgage. And the average black family's net worth is around $30,000, average.
I'm going to jump in right here. He said the house, inadvertently, Mr. Best just said the house is not an asset. Robert Kiyosaki said the same thing years ago and got blasted. Everybody told him he didn't know what he was talking about. But once again, when you look at an asset, you got to look at where does the cash flow? Does it flow towards you? Liabilities, the cash flows away from you. So most houses are liabilities because the cash flow is flowing away from you. You have to pay insurance. You're paying to maintain the building. You're paying to repair the building. The money is moving away from you. It's not actually moving towards you. So assets bring money towards you. So that simple definition is so important. And I love that key point that he just defined, that he said, hey, the house, you got money tied up in a house, that's not an asset, right?
And in some places worse. I quote Boston all the time because the first time I read this about Boston just shocked me, that the average net family's net worth in the city of Boston is about 230 something. I think it was $233,000. And the average black family's net worth in the city of Boston was $7 grand. $7 grand. So you have a lot of folks talking about this. You got summits being taking place. You got conferences being taking place all over the place, talking about we got to close this wealth gap. We having talk sessions about close this wealth gap. Let's get together and talk about close this wealth gap. And I get folks so frustrated when I hear this, it drives me crazy. So I've been working on closing the wealth gap since I was first introduced to free enterprise in 1983. So what's going on right now in the marketplace and why we have such a viable opportunity? Because people are open, they're all looking, and they're looking for solutions. But let me walk you through this road that people are going through, because I watched this mental graduation of people over the last 30 years when they start coming to these little realizations that the job is not the solution. Okay, they start to discover I got to be in business. Again, I call myself blessed and fortunate. I understood that at 22 years old because I had seasoned business people who own car dealerships pulling me aside and said, you have this ambition. It seems to me like you really want to be wealthy. Well, in order to do that, you got to be in business for yourself. I learned this at 22, 23 years old. They weren't telling me sell my soul to Ford Motor Company or any corporation. These are entrepreneurs barely got out of high school. Most of them inherited the dealerships from their daddies. Truth of the matter, most of them inherited the dealerships from their father, or some of them inherited from their grandfather. The Ford Motor Company franchise has been in the family 2 and 3 generations. And they barely out of high school. And they were sitting there telling me, you need to be in business for yourself. Okay? If you get one message tonight, and this is the first time hearing this, you need to understand this. You need to own a business. Not going to tell you why. We already covered that. We covered it so many times, it's ridiculous. If you don't own a business, you're working the first 3 months out of the year for Uncle Sam. But now, what I want to talk about is the mental graduation that people go through in owning a business and why GS Partners is so great. Now, watch this. See, can I speed this up? Number one, the first thing, some people are entrepreneurs by default. Okay? Since we start thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, many entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs by default. What I mean, they didn't go to college and get that comfortable job. They didn't go to college and come out of school at 22, that job paying them 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year. So they're entrepreneurs by default. They didn't finish high school. They barely finished high school. And they're out there working some job and realize this is not going to be enough. And so they say, I got to figure out a way to make some more money. So they become entrepreneurs by default. They end up buying a little convenience store in the corner, or they get into the real estate business and all these things by default. It wasn't their great design plan. They just got this. So a lot of times they're entrepreneurs doing things they didn't really want to do. As an entrepreneur, they're just trying to figure out a way to make some money. And they found themselves in the real estate business or in the construction business or in the body shop business or whatever business they found themselves into as a company owner. They realized they weren't going to make money in corporate America because they didn't have the degree, the license to apply and get that job in corporate America. So they started their own little home-based business in their city. Some people are entrepreneurs by design. They decide they want to become entrepreneur even after college. Some people are raised to be entrepreneurs. They might have went to college, but they were raised and told, yeah, you're going to college, you're senior college, have the degree, but you're going to start your own business. Some people did that, okay? And then you got these professionals. This is what I want to talk about. This is where I'm leading with this. You got those who got out of school, got a good job, and they loved that good job for 20, 30 years. And they were like Mr. Delco said, I'm comfortable. When he was called out, he was comfortable. He'd already been in the networking industry, so he had been exposed. So he's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that person that's been around 25 or 30 years. I hate to tell you this, folks. I get suspect when I talk to a person 55 or 60 years old and they say they've never done network marketing before. Now they become an entrepreneur by default. They're 65 or 60 years old. They lost that so-called good job at the post office, at the mill, at the plant, at the major corporation they work for, GM, no matter who it is. And finally, at 55 or 60 years old, they realize they haven't done enough, don't have enough, haven't made enough money. So now they're becoming entrepreneurs by default. They were professionals, and many of them, when I say I become suspect, I wonder how they get through 30, 40 years in a professional career and have never signed up in a network marketing company. And the only things go through my mind, there was either lack of ambition or no exposure. And I think it's hard to go through last 30, 40 years and you've never been exposed to a network marketing company. So I think for some people, it was what Mr. Duck said. They've been comfortable for 25 or 30 years. Now they wake up 60 years old and they're uncomfortable. So they decide to become a professional. They decide to become an entrepreneur. They're professionals who decide to become an entrepreneur. You got a lot that's happening in government. As government people get there in age and close to retire, they say, oh, that good job is gone. So now they want to become an entrepreneur. And they find a way into networking. But I'm going to get there. I'm getting to a point. And then you got retirees who decide to become entrepreneurs. Okay, and then they've been sitting there good job for 30, 40 years. Now they come up with all these ideas about, oh, they finally learned at 55 or 6 years old, You know, this job not going to cut us. I want to become an entrepreneur. And what's the first thing they do? They say, okay, they start thinking traditionally. They think about the business on the corner, the shop on the corner, the barber shop on the corner, the hair salon on the corner, beauty supply store. They think traditionally. They start thinking, maybe I got to go to the Small Business Administration. This is the natural progression because we are conditioned by society to think a certain way. First is get a job. Then it's
Ooh, I'm gonna jump in right here. So you talked about being conditioned a certain way. That's so big because there's so many things that we are taught growing up and we don't even know how to separate it. And then we just go down a certain path just by default. And I love what he talked about with the different types of entrepreneurs. I've actually never heard him say this, and I've been listening to Mr. Tybes for years. He said an entrepreneur by default, almost, you know, almost falling into it, almost just having to do it, right? And then entrepreneurs that are just learning and growing because a situation has changed and now they're thrust into that. So it's just so interesting to just listen to someone who has several years of experience and has been financially free for over 25 years. Hearing from him, being able to reach out to him, being able to have him as a mentor, being able to have him as our leader for our Wealth Builders Worldwide team, him at the helm. Man, I'm so excited to be connected to this gentleman.
what we call a real business. That's a business on the corner with your name on it that you went and got the license for. You went and filled out your legal Zoom paperwork. I love the commercial on TV right now talking about it's time to go live your dream. The guy looking at this building, they said, don't just dream it. You can do it. And with legal Zoom, we're going to help you do it. Okay? They're going to help you file a legal paperwork. They're not going to help you build your business. They don't even care if it's a word of business. They just want to help you fill out the paperwork. You might be going to fail in the next 12 months. They might even suspect you're going to fail. They probably suspect you will fail, but they're still going to get paid for setting up your legal corporation and set up your corporation. But that's what happened. I'm not just here to talk about legal Zoom. I'm here to say, watch this progression in people all around you. So this is what I've been doing for 30 years. Watching people grow into the entrepreneur space. They go traditionally. Or you got someone who got some money, you got some resources. They say, well, I got a little bit of money. I've been in corporate America. I done saved me when I got $500,000 in my 401k or $1 million. I'm going to buy me a franchise. And then they go back traditionally. They're still in the box. They're in the box thinking. They went from the job, professional job, and they moved the box a little bit louder and went, oh, let me get me a franchise. And then they'll go drop 500,000, 300,000, 500,000, $1 million to get a franchise. I forgot who posted last night. Oh, Miss Sharon Vick posted, okay, on her father or father-in-law. I think it was her father or father-in-law. Sharon probably, I know she's up, she can type it in the chat room. I saw that post. Her father could have bought a Popeyes franchise for $1,000 like 30 years ago. 40 years ago, $1,000 could have got a Popeye franchise. Okay, and chose not to. That happens in every business. That's not a criticism of her father, anybody else. There are people who, whatever, when opportunity comes on, whatever, the time is not right for them in their life. But the point of it is, today, look at Popeyes, look at McDonald's, look at Burger King. All these franchises can cost you anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million just to open the door. And people will willingly give up that money to do it. Okay? And the most profitable McDonald's in the country, the owner may bring home $150,000 to $200,000. What Ms. Vicks posted, that the typical Popeyes owner bring home $600,000 to $100,000 a year. They're paying $1 million there for the privilege to bring home $100,000 a year in income. That's why you typically find a franchise owner, he wants to own 8, 9, 10 franchises because he's still not making any money. And you think $100,000, $200,000 a year is some money until you start to make it and you realize, as I said before, many of you heard me say, when you start making 10, 15 grand a month in income, all this going to help you realize how broke you used to be. You're going to go, oh my God, how are people making it? Because when you start making 15, 20 grand a month in income, you'll find a position to take care of all the things that need to be taken care of.
Man, I love what he said about starting a traditional franchise and all that upfront cost that's associated with it. Here we have an opportunity for people to tap into where you can literally jump in for free. You can jump in for 140, $150 roughly, or you could jump in for roughly like $1,000 and be up and running and have no other really out of pocket costs at all, and start tapping into creating a six-figure income because there's people already doing it. It's not even up for debate. Those are actual facts. There's several people who have grown their GS Partners business to create additional revenue for them immediately, okay? Because we get paid in real time. We get paid, as Dr. Dominic Curry said today during the live presentation, he said at now o'clock. We get paid at now o'clock. And brother or Dominic Curry is a pastor and a doctor and an author. I mean, we got some high caliber people here enjoying the benefits of GS Partners. So we encourage you to get in and connect with us, get that free registration completed. Whoever's sharing this with you, you get back with them.
That's all the things. I mean, everything, folks. I'm talking about when you make the money, everything. You'll have, look, right now, no, I'm going off track. See, I've been dealing in this industry and dealing with people for so long about money and finances. I got a friend of mine, he's in the roofing business. He's told me so much about roofing in the last year that I cannot drive through a neighborhood now. First, I used to look at the house. The first, I look at the roof. The roof tells me where they are financially. The roof will tell me more about where they are financially than any other thing in the world. Because almost every house that's 10 years old needed a new roof. Where it is, they need a new roof. And I can look at the roof and I can tell those that if they had the money to get a new roof, well, they don't know they can get a new roof for free, but that's another seminar. Okay. But they need a new roof. You can tell how the house is going by the way the yard's kept. Okay. You can also drive through the neighborhood now. If you're paying attention, you can tell the renters from the owners. Okay. The owners, man, they got flowers posted all around the house. It's gorgeous, laid out. And the renters like, hey, I ain't got time for that. Okay. That's just little stuff. Just throw out it for free. Okay. So anyway, so you got the franchise owners, okay, out there, and they get these franchises. Okay, they taking these entrepreneur steps. You got some going to the real estate business. I mean, a lot of folks, I'm gonna be in the real estate business. All these traditional things, okay, and all these traditional things take what? Capital. And I get out on a week go by, I guarantee Mr. Delco probably get these same phone where somebody's calling me looking for capital to launch their enterprise, looking to capital to finance their enterprise, looking to capital to find their business. And there's a whole community right now of Black entrepreneurs running around America trying to raise money for somebody to finance their traditional business idea and concepts, and still want to go out and put $50,000, $100,000 and put a business on the corner and put their name on it or somebody's name on it. They're doing crowdfunding, GoFundMe. They're trying to raise capital. They're looking for professional. They're looking for people to give them money to invest to start a business. Okay. But no, they're not getting networking. They want to do a traditional business, but they don't have the resources. So you look for people with the resources. And some of them think I'm off track because I spent 30 years building my business, building a business, and they look at me sideways when I don't want to put $50,000 in some idea. They woke up one night, 30 years after sitting in the corporate America for 30 years, they come with an idea they want to do and they think I should finance it, or they think I should contribute to it, or they think I'm not being Black enough because I won't support their Black business cause because it's their idea and it's Black owned. Yeah, I'm speaking the truth tonight. Okay.
Now, here's the other big benefit, and one thing I want to draw out here, as Mr. Best just mentioned that point. So we encourage everyone under the sound of our voice, right? If you are passionate about a business idea, if you're passionate about an organization, if you're passionate about sowing seeds or donating for a certain cause, connect with GS Partners and you can actually create create that income that you want to donate for that cause. You can create, right, the capital that you need for that traditional business if that's your goal and that's your dream. There's several people within Wealth Builders Worldwide, everyone. There's authors, there's multiple CEOs, there's people of all different walks of life. Some people are using this tool because it is just a tool. GS Partners is a tool. What is your dream? What is your passion? Use GS Partners as that tool to finance your goal, to finance that magnificent dream that you have. Use this tool. Now, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do is harness this tool, craft it, and use it to help you get where you're going. You might be very passionate about being a nurse. Everything in this world takes, some financing, right? Some capital. So you might be passionate about being a nurse, but you might use GS Partners to go to school for your nursing and just not have to pay for school. Use GS Partners as a way to finance that goal, to finance that dream. GS Partners is the tool. So we're encouraging people to tap into GS Partners, not just for the sake of being a GS Partners, just to have a membership. No, we're encouraging you to tap into it, to use it to go towards your goal and your dream, whatever that goal and dream is. We're not trying to tell people who are artistic and have a gift to create music, or who are artistic and know how to draw and paint, to stop doing that gift or creating music. We're saying, hey, tap into GS Partners. So now you have the time freedom to use the gift that you've been given even more without any concern about finances. One of our amazing leaders, Brother Kansu, just literally bought a car. He used the bonus that he had from last month and just swiped his GS Lifestyle card to get a car that was in his dream, part of his dream. So he used the tool of GS Partners to help him acquire one of his dreams. What is your dream? What is your goal? So I'm going to draw that out a little bit more for you because I want to drive that point home. We're closing the wealth gap. We're helping close the wealth gap. We're sharing how to do that. Use the tool of GS Partners to close that wealth gap. And as you're closing that wealth gap, there's going to be different goals and dreams that you're going to have access to now that you have that time freedom, now that you have that additional income, now that, like you were saying, you have the capital.
And my attitude is, hey, look, you do the same thing I did to get the $50,000 to invest in your business. You want me to $100,000 in your business? I'm not going to do it. Okay. And it's not going to do it because it's not just a good idea, but I also got some attitude where you know what I love about this thing? I didn't have to go to anybody in 1983 to ask permission. And it took years to put it together. Okay. So why should some guy sit down, write a proposal, come see me, and I give him $100,000 to go start some business idea with my money? Because it might be a good idea. And it might be a good idea. Okay. But I'm not the one to invest in it. Okay. And almost all these traditional businesses fail. And you know why they fail? Because they're undercapitalized, including most network marketing companies. They fail because they're undercapitalized, don't have enough money. Okay. And I have bootstrapped enough network marketing companies to know what an undercapitalized company looks like too. We don't have that problem in GS Partners. Okay. There's no capitalization issue going on here, Jack. You already seen that from the first 4 months. That's off the table, but I'm gonna get back to that. Okay. So now you got all those traditional business, got all those traditional. I'm telling you, I'm trying to prepare you. So when you start making that 10, 20 grand a month in the next few months here in GS Partners, and people start saying, hey, look, I just need $5,000 to buy me some new chairs for my salon. Help a sister out. Okay. And believe me now, I'm sharing this with you because Val, I done all this. We done all this. We done been through all this. Okay. I'm not going to go through a therapy session for me and Val. Okay. I want to hear you. We support people in their business, and we have been as supportive we possibly can. I'm trying to prepare you for what's going on in the marketplace. So you see these folks who spend 30, 40 years in their corporate job, they're comfortable, and then they got a business idea, or they leave corporate America and they out raising money to start some business idea, and they're looking for you or somebody you know to help finance their idea. And then we come along and say, you know what? We got a better idea. We're in the business of the 21st century. When I talk to folks, I try as politely as I possibly can. I said, let me get this straight. You think I should invest $25, $50, $10,000, $5,000 in your business idea on the corner when I got a business idea I presented to you that you can enroll for free? Okay. This is business of the 21st century. Business is moving online. It's not by accident that Jeff Bezos become one of the richest men in the world. Man manufactures nothing, labels nothing, privately owns nothing. All his company does is ship out other people's stuff in an efficient manner online. And when he launched the company in the 90s, they thought the man was insane. He saw what other people could not see. Okay. You want an online business, folks? I'm talking to the guests if they don't know it. Okay. If you have to go start a salon or something in the meantime, you do what you got to do. I understand that. I'm not, but you got to think beyond your neighborhood. We live in a global economy today. Everything is global. Okay. We got to get over the myopic. Now I'm preaching to the choir again. We got to get over this myopic viewpoint of my business on the corner. Every time I drive by these businesses on the corner, my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to the guy with that thing on the corner. He got to show up to every morning at 7 o'clock, close every night at 11 o'clock, or the restaurant owner that works 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to break even. Okay? Slave to the job. The name of the game, the future, the 21st century. When I read Bill Gates' book 20 years ago, said, business at the speed of thought. He said this before everybody had a cell phone. Lord, I forgot to put my Facebook page on today, live. Well, that's the way it goes. Okay. Bill Gates said this 20 years ago. Business at the speed of thought. He wrote this book before everybody had a cell phone, before Facebook was created, before Instagram was created. I mean, think about this out there. Anyway, so you got business online 24/7, 100 plus countries. Okay. This business of the 21st century. Even right now in the network marketing space, my heart goes out to folks, Scott. Well, I got this nutritional company and they can only sell a product right here in the country. That's still better than, having a job. Okay, it's still better not doing anything. Our company, GS Partners, we are the future. I believe all roads lead to what we're doing. Now, they may not believe that, they may not know that, and that does not mean everyone's going to be here. But everyone that stops and think and analyze what we're doing, they're going to be here. When the dust settles, they're going to be over here. I mean, millions going to be over here. I don't mean no million, I mean millions of people going to be in this thing saying, I don't see the end in sight for what we're doing because it's so simple, because it makes sense. Okay, we had one in the country from day one, unlimited income potential and little capital to get started. And every other traditional business out there, even real estate school, you got to pay for real estate school. You got see all this stuff. It just cracks me up. We have this simple business model that all a person has to do is say, hey, okay, man, enroll me for free. Here's my email, my phone number, my name. And they're off and running. Okay, they're off and running. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do? I will put my little phone on for the last 10 minutes because I'm gonna talk about what we do in this last 10 minutes because that's what the call is all about. Okay. GS Partners, we're the ultimate. In my mind, we're the ultimate in the online business community. Number one, illegitimate. So let's talk about this. Okay. $149 decision. I said it earlier this morning on the power call. And welcome those who join us on Facebook. Sorry you missed most of the call, but I just put the line on. So it's a $149 decision. That $149 decision puts you in position to make over $200,000 in the next 9 months to a year. In the conversation, so I think right there, that's where the conversation almost stopped. But what are we doing? We're going to teach you that along the way. I mean, you think about this. We got people going to make a $200,000 commitment to college, don't know what classes they're going to take, don't know what major they're going to be, don't know their professors, I got to know all this stuff. You drop $200,000 to go to college, don't know anything. Don't know anything about the college, don't know what classes, don't know the professors that are teaching the college, don't know anything about the president of the school. You don't know anything. Okay? So all this information, all this badgering me for information for a $149 decision that puts you in position to make $200,000, that's on us. We take that abuse. We don't have to take that, folks. Be polite, be professional. But we take that because we run around thinking we're going to round up people and run around chasing people. People have been chased in this for the last 60 years, okay? People should have the reverence for you sharing this opportunity with them as Mr. Delco has when he talked about Mr. Hines. Thank you so much, okay? The same thing I have when I think about people that share every opportunity I've gotten in. I revere those folks. I thank you. I admire the fact they had the courage to even invite me, because by invitation only, okay? Number one. So $149 decision puts you in a position to make over $200,000 in the next 9 months to a year. Can't be any better than that, okay? Number two, GS Partners pays 24/7. Operates in 100 plus countries. And you can do it all from home. That's GS Partners. And it's a rock solid company, created, founded by Mr. Joseph Haidt, okay, a multi-billionaire, okay? He's proven his investment and commitment to what we're doing already in this first 4.5 months of the company. Some 96,000, almost 100,000 people already involved in the company in less than 5 months. He's paid out millions of dollars commissions in the first 5 months. And if that wasn't enough, he decided to stick another $3.5 million out of his pocket on top of the program, okay, as an extra incentive to help launch the program, help get us off the ground, help add credibility. And then we're the only program in the marketplace where you do not have to really truly build a team to become a multi-millionaire. All you got to do is get you a package, okay, then acquire all the G999 coins you possibly can. And our G999 today is, like I said, is what Bitcoin was 10 years ago. Yes, it's under a penny. Yes, some folks don't get it. They don't understand it. And there'll be some folks loving us, and there'll be some folks hating us. And then in a few years there'll be some folks regretting that wish they had gotten coin, wish they had gotten more coin, wish they stayed focused, wish they had gotten involved. All that thing. You can't worry about those kind of conversations. When people send me a negative thing, Tyrone, you might want to read, I don't even read the stuff. I don't even watch. I don't even put that stuff in my brain. Okay? I base my whole business on what I see happening and what I'm doing. And I believe in my heart that if you are not sponsoring people on a consistent basis in this program, you're not talking to people. Okay? I got 3 people right now I got to get back to and get them enrolled. Okay? Get them on board, as I say. It takes time. Okay? But when you plant enough seeds out there, you're going to be busy. So the credibility of our company, not on trial. Okay, is the compensation plan work? Not on trial. Is this creative idea of these pools that we have? Not on trial. And for the analytics out there who love analytics, understand this. Every single dollar of crypto, of Bitcoin or Ethereum that comes into our company, 58 cents on every single dollar is paid back to us in the field. That's unheard of. I've told you before, the average company pays between 30, maybe 35% on a given month back to the field. Our company guaranteed on the blockchain, 58 cents on every dollar is coming back to us in the field. That's the reason so many people making so much money. Just straight up. I mean, no emotion, but just straight up facts. These are the facts. Okay. And I got 30 years of history, so I've never seen anything like this. So I'm not hyping it up to you. I'm trying to tell you just the facts. And there is no other business idea out there that compares to what we have our hands on. Okay. So the question becomes, can you do this? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. Okay. And here's what you need to do. And I'm finished for the night. Number one, you got to have a dream. I listened to this Bob Proctor message that Brother Eric Ray played yesterday. And Bob Proctor just reinstilled me. I mean, I've made that same talk 20 years ago. But see, we all can. I could be right here. And you can say, man, Tyrone is always pumped up. He's always fired up. Okay. But really, okay, I really should be here. But maybe I'm here, which to you may still like I'm in a great place. I'm fired up. I'm energetic. I'm doing my thing. I got the dream. But even my dream can be diminished, but it still like a big dream compared to the average person's dream. It is. I've been dreaming so long. But when Bob Proctor finished me the stuff I've been reading, listening to Dr. Miles Morales, that's why I said, oh, no. We about to redefine this thing. We're going to create 100,000 millionaires in GS Partners, and you can be one by choice. Okay? Bob Proctor said your dream should be so big, so all-compelling, that it just overwhelms anything else you're trying to do. You ask him, man, how are you handling this thing I just been through? My wife passed in February the 25th after 40 years of a relationship and 47 years of a relationship and 42 years of marriage. And I'm like, well, I got this community called Wealth Builders Worldwide. They're a big part of it. I can talk to them. I can share things with them. I said, but I also got this responsibility of this thing called Wealth Builders World. People don't want to see me sitting around whine. So I'm not even want to sit around and whine. I want to do the business. And when I was listening to Miles Rowe talk about this morning, I said, if your dream is big enough, Bob Proctor, when your dream is so big, the things that happen, life things that happen, you'll overcome those things faster because you on a purpose you feel like you've been put here to do. But if you are wandering through life, every time any storm come along, man, it'll knock you down, flatten you out. You need therapy to overcome it. You whine about it. But when you got something to focus on, that's big, that's serious, that you've dedicated your life to doing, man, you get knocked off for a little while, you cope with it, you deal with it. I have my moments. I don't show them to you. I have my moments, but I'm like, I got stuff to do. I got an overwhelming dream. We're going to close this wealth gap. And here's why we close it. Here's why GS Partners is so significant to close it. Because we close by doing what? Accumulating assets. Okay? We don't close it. We're not making money. I've made money networking for 30-some years. People ask me, I'd like to talk assets. Oh, well, how much did you make last week? I said, I made over $20,000 in assets. Okay, my assets grew by almost $14,000 just yesterday, just on Bitcoin. Assets, not dollars. Dollars come and go. Assets. And that beautiful thing about what we have our hands on is that if you would like to sincerely close the wealth gap, sign up. If you'd like to sincerely close the wealth gap between the have and the have-nots, sign up, get a package. Okay, start getting all the G999 you can, earning all the Bitcoin and Ethereum you can by educating people on what? On cryptocurrency and why they should get the G999. We get paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wait a minute, in assets to introduce people to G999 and help to educate them on the cryptocurrency space. That's what we do, folks. Okay? That's what we do. Okay? And wait a minute. Every time you earn Bitcoin in this system, you're closing the wealth gap. You're closing the wealth gap. Every time you earn Ethereum, you're closing the wealth gap. Okay, every time you acquire the G999, you're closing the wealth gap. And the significance of how much you closing that wealth gap is when that coin goes to 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, $1. Do you understand? Right now, you can get almost 1 million coins for $5,000. We'll get you 1 million. Man, we got people telling me, well, yeah, they're all excited about Bitcoin. I'm going, why? I said, I'm excited too, because I get paid in it. And I take that Bitcoin and I get G999. So I'm going to say the Bitcoin. Well, go ahead. Look, let's say I got 5 Bitcoins. Okay, it's 60,000. Okay, each. Well, that's $300,000. And all the Bitcoin goes to 100 grand like they predict by December. Great, I got $600,000. Now I'm excited about that. That's good. Most of you don't have a Bitcoin. Don't even have one Bitcoin. But watch this now. That's exciting. That's $600,000. Yeah, man, that's a lot. Elon Musk is excited. He can play the big boy game. He put 1.5 billion in the Bitcoin, made $500 million. Anybody on the call got 1.5 billion to invest in Bitcoin right now? No. Okay. Don't ask that. But watch this. I guarantee you, everyone on this call can find 5 grand and get them 1 million G999. And all the G999 don't have to go to 100 grand. All the G999 got to do is go to $1, and you're sitting there on $1 million asset. I mean, this is buy time. You couldn't do that when we launched. You couldn't do it. You can do that now. This is buy time. Okay, 5,000. That's not what my talk was about today. But we're talking about assets, right? And closing the wealth gap. You want to close the wealth gap? Imagine, okay, 20, 30,000 people out there with 1 million coin, and the coin go to $1. We just created 30,000 millionaires just like that. Wealth gap shrunk, baby. Wealth gap shrunk between the have and have-nots. I'm not talking ethnicity. I'm talking about the have and have-nots. Because if you're on the have-not side, you don't care what your ethnicity is. You on the have-not side. If you're going to work 5 and 6 days a week, you're on the have-not side. Okay, if you're selling your time for money, you're on the have-not side. Okay, don't let powers that be try to divide us by ethnicity or by education or by class or by structure or by job. Okay, I'm one of them knuckleheads I worked with one time at Toyota, saw me eating with one of the security guards, and he pulled me aside after we finished having lunch, talking about, why are you eating with the help? I said, where's that mentality come from? I said, eating with the help. He said, yeah, I mean, you're in management, man. Why are you out there eating with the help? Because the security guards wore red jackets. Saw me soon. The security guard, his brother, I'm eating lunch with him. He said, why are you eating with the help? I said, Jesus Christ, man, who did a job on you? You see another human being as the help because you got a status in the job that he doesn't particularly have. And this individual I'm sitting there with, who's the head security guard, okay, owned 18 pieces of property in LA. But see, they didn't know that because they don't talk to the help. I did. Anyway, let's see, man, folks, I can just tell you stories like this. This journey has been an amazing journey. So when I talk about where we're going and how excited I am about GS Publishing, well, you were just excited about the last episode. Yes, that's right, I was. Because the best thing I'd seen until this. So can you do this and let me calm down again? I jack myself up. You got to 1-1. All you need is a dream. Got to have a dream. Got to have a powerful dream. Got to have a powerful dream. Everything starts with a dream. Logic comes next. Dream comes first. Number 2, got to have a cell phone. Okay, I said, I got to make this message. A cell phone and a dream. I took a cell phone and a dream. So, okay, let's go, Mr. Delco. Let's go, Mr. Williams. Let's go, Miss Stevens. Let's go, Miss Tanisha Glass. Let's go, Miss Dave. Let's go. And we built an organization going to do $50 million this year. We have no employees, no overhead, no place to go. And we got an organization going to do $50 to $100 million this year with a cell phone and a dream. And you sit and wonder, can you do this thing? Don't think Mr. Delco is something special. Don't think that they are, but they're not any more special than you. Just a function of belief. Third thing, you got to have a sponsor, so you can't even get in. By invitation, don't feel like you're out there selling people. You are inviting people into your world, okay? And it's an incredible world. And it's an incredible journey worth doing. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. Worthwhile dream means is what you're doing worthy of your time. Anytime you invest your time in enhancing the lives of other people, it's a worthwhile dream. This is what we do in GS Partners. Got to have a dream, got to have a cell phone, you need a sponsor, you can't get in. And then the fourth thing, you got to have a support team. 30 years in the industry, folks. This team that we launched in 2014, and I say we because no one does anything by this. I hate to use the word I in reference to networking. I had a name, but this team, Mr. Delcos, the Roger Williams. Roger been here the entire time. Tanisha Glass was at that first Let's Go weekend. Okay, the Delcos that hosted that. The Let's Go weekend is theirs. Okay, you understand? So this is a team effort. This community.
Ooh, and I'm telling you right now, that Let's Go weekend, it makes a whole lot of difference. And as he was talking about our awesome team, let me show you this. Get connected with our Wealth Builders Worldwide family and team. This is your support team. We're here to support your goals and your dreams. If you can, take a screenshot of this. If you're seeing this on YouTube or seeing this on Twitter, take a screenshot of this. We will be live at 10:45 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow for our live power call. Happens every Monday through Saturday, and you'll hear from our global team, our global success team, Wealth Builders Worldwide. We build winners. That's absolutely accurate and true. And then we have live webinars twice a day, every Monday through Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live Spanish presentations every Monday and Tuesday, and live fast start training for Q&A and developing new leaders every Sunday night. Okay, so I hope you took a screenshot of that. Thank you, everybody on the sound of my voice, for listening to this content. Mr. Ty Best is a wealth of information. Sorry for the technical issues earlier, but get back with whoever's sharing this information with you. If that person is me, you go straight to whywinnIncome.com, get your free registration completed, but get back to whoever was sharing this with you. So once again, if it was me, you go straight to whywinnIncome.com, get your free registration, and then let me know. Send me a message. My phone number, my email will automatically be available to you when you complete your free registration. And just a quick recap. Assets, close the wealth gap. We got several different assets that you can tap into. You can tap into assets as a client or customer and not help a soul or share it with anybody if you so desire. And we have assets in terms of building a business. Okay, I see one of our business partners is hanging out with us today. I saw you earlier. I didn't get a chance to say anything, but hello, Miss Angela Hunter. Welcome to the live stream. Mr. Ty Best is just a wealth of information. I'm so honored to be connected to this gentleman. I remember when we were in a live event in LA, and I got to really just spend some time with him and glean with him and be around him more. And then, of course, live at the Let's Go weekends. I've been to all Let's Go weekends minus one. My wonderful sister decided to get married, and I had the tremendous honor of walking her down the aisle, right? And then we talked about increasing your net worth or increasing your net worth can help you close that wealth gap, and that's what we're doing. Okay, that is what we're doing in Wealth Builders Worldwide, and we decide to use the tool of GS Partners and all of the suite of information and tools that they're providing to help us get there. Okay, so everybody on the sound of my voice, have a great day, night, afternoon, just depends on where you're at in this awesome world we live in, and we will see you on the next live stream. Let's go ahead and give you a little outro music, and I will see you guys next time.